So, you want to get started with modular synthesis? Maybe you already have a small setup and you want to expand it, but there's just so many modules, it's overwhelming. Well, it doesn't have to be. Let me tell you that all modules can be categorized into just 3 types. Just 3? Well, maybe there's a 4th, but I'll talk about that later. The first type is what I define as sound generators. These are oscillators, noise generators, drum modules, and sample players. Basically modules that output audio signals and that can often be controlled with volt per octave inputs, gates or triggers. The second type are modulators. Think of LFOs, envelope generators, random modules, and even sequencers. All modulators can output DC signals and will run at lower rates than audio signals. But of course there are always exceptions in modular. So an LFO, for example, can run at audio rates as well. But if we think about the basic functionality of a modulator, it's used to control something else. The third type are what I call effect modules. These have audio inputs and outputs, and they manipulate audio rate signals, like distortion effects, delays and reverbs. Of course, nobody is stopping you from sending an envelope through a reverb. I honestly haven't tried that. I wonder how it sounds. But typically these are used to manipulate audio signals. So, these are the 3 types you need to know about when you're just starting out with modular synthesis. Are there any exceptions? Of course. But I think it's really helpful to break it down into smaller chunks at first, as it's so easy to become overwhelmed by all the modules out there. Once you understand these 3 categories, you could say there's a 4th type, which contains all other modules that don't fit into these above 3. I would say the 4th category could be labeled as utilities. These are modules like sample and hold, comparators, quantizers, mixers, and even mults. Modules that combine one signal with another and output a result. Basically modules that modulate modulation signals. Alright, well, let me know what you think about this concept. Remember, there are no rules, only guidelines. Nobody learns to play Stairway to Heaven on their first guitar lesson. So break it down into small chunks and expand from there. If you want to learn more about modular synthesis, I've made a free guide which you can download via the link in the description. Let me know if you have any questions and I'll see you next week with another tutorial.